Welcome back. Let's start to unravel this mystery that has been set upon us. Ugh. Behind that door. In the storeroom. Hurry. Oh my. It's Gina. Oh man, I need to build up my motivation again. Come on. Ooh, I'm kind of tired today, so. Ooh baby, here we go. From that moment, Windibank's pawnbrokery became a crime scene. Everything that followed happened in a whirlwind of activity. The arrival of the police, the preliminary investigation of the scene, and the questioning. It was just before dawn before I was allowed back to my lodgings at 221B. Damn, dude. 16th April, 6:21 a.m. Naruto's legal consultancy. My bad. Consultation was what I was thinking it was going to be. Oh, Iris!
A telegram came, but all it said was, "Wait at home."
Oh, yes. We asked one of the policemen to have it sent. It was simply impossible to come back.
When I woke up, I was all alone. Hurley and Ginny were gone. Everyone was gone. What happened, Runo?
Poor Iris. She's trembling. She's obviously trying very hard not to let herself get too worried. I'll explain everything that I know.
Something awful has happened, hasn't it?
Yes, I'm afraid so. Events at Windibank. I'm sorry to have to tell you this, Iris, but Mr. Windibank is dead.
Ah!
He was shot. We discovered it in the early hours of the morning.
Oh. Yes, I had a feeling.
You did?
Well, I saw all those police carriages pulling up outside his shop. So I knew something must have happened there.
When we entered Windibanks in the small hours, we disturbed a gang of 2 thugs. They ran out onto the street, and I chased after them, but they got away.
So, it was one of them who shot old Windibank, I suppose?
I don't know, but that's not what the police believe at the moment.
Oh! Why not?
They've arrested someone else as the prime suspect, you see. Gina.
Ginny! What? Why?
Well, the thing is...
No! Ginny wouldn't do something like that!
I know. None of us think she did it.
And why have they arrested her?
I'm sorry. There was nothing I could do. Gina's arrest.
I don't understand why they arrested Ginny. It's not fair! What about the 2 thugs that were at the scene? Why aren't they the prime suspects? After all, they shot Hurley dead, didn't they?
Excuse me? No, I mean, Mr. Sholmes isn't dead, Iris.
This is all so horrible.
Thing is, Mr. Windibank was found on the floor in the storeroom where he keeps all the deposited articles. And the storeroom door was locked from the inside. I mean, that should be easy to pull off, right? Right? Because there's a window in the door. But he wasn't alone in there. Gina was found next to him on the floor as well.
Oh no!
According to the detectives who investigated afterwards.
Don't tell me. There was no one else in the room?
Yes, exactly. How did you know?
It's the only explanation.
Yes, the only explanation indeed.
What do you mean by that, Bruno? Well?
What can I say? Damned if I agree, damned if I don't.
So where's Hurley then? Is he still there investigating the scene? He really ought to have some breakfast. It's not good for him to miss meals.
I don't want you to worry, Iris. But I have some news about Mr. Sholmes. He was taken to hospital this morning.
What?
Well, when we entered Winterbanks, a gun was fired and he took a bullet.
Hurley? Was shot? No! No!
It's all right. His life isn't in danger.
Really? Are you sure? Where is he? Which hospital?
He's at St. Sinners. They're tending to him there. Signers?
I must see him. At once!
I'm sorry, Iris, but you can't.
Why not? That's not fair! I'm a family member. I should be allowed.
No, I mean, nobody can see him at the moment. He's not allowed any visitors. They're preparing to operate, you see.
To operate? Oh, poor Hurley.
Woof. It was the two thugs who were in Mr. Winterbank's shop. They shot Mr. Holmes when we disturbed them, you see. Or it could have been Gina. Gina's holding the gun. And the window might have been open at that point in time. She just shot randomly, ricocheted, hit her lock. It was pitch black inside the shop at the time. Mine went totally blank, I'm afraid. I just froze. After them! Go! After that, I ran out into the street, but, well, they were long gone. I shouldn't have hesitated. I'm so sorry. It's my fault. I let them get away.
I think that's a very good thing.
Sorry?
Well, if you'd seen which way they went and chased after them, you might have been shot as well, Runo. On top of everything else, I couldn't bear that.
Oh, Iris.
Where's Susie, Runo?
She's still at the police station.
Oh, why?
I expect she's still being questioned. The police said they wouldn't be finished for a while.
Why aren't you there then?
Well, I didn't get a good look at the criminals anyway, so they weren't questioning me for long. And Mr. Sato stayed behind at the scene to tend to Mr. Sholmes, so they didn't get started until later.
I see.
Besides, one of us had to come back to be with Iris. Glad Inspector Gregson agreed to me leaving early.
You should have let me know, and I would have come to the station.
I'm afraid I'll need to go out again now, Iris. There's not much I can do at the moment, but I can at least try to find out how Mr. Sholmes and Gina are getting on.
I want to go too. Take me with you, Runo. I can't stand just sitting around here waiting.
I'm not sure how I feel about taking a 10-year-old child to the scene of a murder. But I don't want to leave her all alone here either. Alright then, Iris. Perhaps you can help me.
Oh, yes! I'd love to.
Gina's at the prison. Mr. Sholmes is probably in his hospital bed. Probably not.
And don't forget we have to visit the crime scene. We need to conduct a thorough investigation.
I can see you're ready for action. Imagine Iris would appreciate going to the hospital sooner rather than later. A new location has been added. Bum, bum, bum. Then let's start with the hospital. 16th April, St. Signers. I'm going to say Signers. Signers Hospital, Ward 3.
Hurley? Oh! He's not here.
No. That's strange. The nurse definitely said he was in the bed by the window, didn't she?
Oh, I know what's probably happened. Henry was being a big baby, and the bullet wound wasn't that bad after all, so he's been sent home.
I'm not so sure about that. Baby or not. There's no question that it was a fairly serious injury that Mr. Sholmes suffered.
Oh,
Hello, hello. What have we here? Ah, this water's off limits. No visiting. So what are you doing in here, eh?
well, I'll have you know, we're Hurley's next of kin.
Huh? Oh, well, begging your pardon then, ma'am. Sir? The lady and a curious Eastern gentleman. The great mystery solvers, the great mystery solver has a mysterious family, eh? So you see us? Sure.
Where is he, Constable? Where's Hurley?
I believe he is currently at the operating theatre, ma'am. Undergoing an extensive operation.
Extensive?
It has been several hours since he went in.
Oh dear. Is he going to be alright?
Well, doesn't appear to be working, you see. The anesthetic, that is.
Oh,
I heard a report. The gentleman claims he may have had a little too much to drink last night. Coffee, that is. Anyway, I think it would be fair to assume that he won't be getting back here for several hours yet. I see. Thank you, Constable. Perhaps we should leave and come back later.
poor Hurley.
Let's take a look around the room first. Hello? Press X. There's a notice board on the wall here. Look. Let's see. What does it say? Thought of the day. On seeing any vermin, calmly and discreetly inform matron.
Oh yes, they have rats and mice in hospitals like this that love to feast on all the medicine. If you don't deal with them, there's nothing left to treat the patients.
Rats and mice? Oh, I see. This is a rather old building, I suppose.
But the doctors and nurses are all very good, I hear.
I certainly hope so, for Mrs. Sholmes' sake. Is that a wastebasket? Empty bed. I can't even take a look at the notice there. This must be Mr. Sholmes' bed.
Poor Hurley.
I know. It looks as stiff as a board, doesn't it?
Oh, I don't think that will bother him.
No?
I often find him asleep face down on the floor, completely dead to the world.
I think I'd call the police if I discovered someone like that. Keep on screwing up, Naruhodo's. Huh. Crutches. I wonder what these are. Do you have any idea, Iris?
Oh, haven't you ever seen crutches before? Let me explain. They're for people with leg injuries, to help them walk. You hold one under each arm, you see.
Ah, right. I thought they were weapons of some sort.
Why would there be weapons in a hospital?
I thought maybe a fighter had been injured in a battle contest and had been brought here with his weapons.
Oh, that's surprisingly plausible.
I can't look at that note. That note looks definitely out of place. But whatever. Oh, see if we can talk to Gina if she's out of questioning. Maybe run into Sato. 16th April. Local prison. Cell 13. Hi, Gina. Hello, Gina. Oh, they let her keep the grenade launcher.
Oh, you still have the grenade launcher Hurley and I made.
I wish she wouldn't point it at me all the time, though.
What are you here for? Ginny.
I have a feeling it's because of us that you've ended up in trouble. So we were thinking we might be able to help you.
Oh, well, you can't.
Sorry?
You heard? Get lost. Don't be like that, Ginny. I know you didn't do it. You'd never shoot someone. I just know you wouldn't.
Think you know me? Pull the other one.
Oh,
You ain't got the first idea about the likes of me. I'm a thief. I pinch people's purses when they're walking down the street. That's how I get by. And if you saw me chance, I'd stick you to a pawn shop any day of the week. Just to see what I could lay my hands on. Get it? That's the kind of person I am.
but But Ginny...
I'll be in court tomorrow, they said. Some cove came by and said he'd be a lawyer for me or the like. Said it was my right or something. But I told him to get stuffed. I don't need no lawyer. I don't need one. I don't need no one. She couldn't be staring anymore, obviously, if she tried.
Why are you being like this, Ginny?
I don't understand, Gina. But why did you send the public defender away? He wanted me to sign some papers. Representation papers or something like that. It's all gonna be rigged anyway. The whole trial. They're pinning on me because I'm a kid. That's what grown-ups always do.
Why do you think that? That's how it's always been for me growing up in the back slums. My whole life. If you do what the grown-ups tell you, it'll get your mates dragged off by the coppers. Or worse. I've had it happen to me before and all. Been sold out and nearly snaffled in the back of it. You can't trust no one. That's the point. As soon as you do, you're gone to grass. Dead.
Gina, listen. If you like, in tomorrow's trial, I could...
Forget it. Ginny, don't you trust Runo?
Nah, I don't.
Look, I'll ask you nicely now.
Just leave me alone. Will you tell us what happened, Gina? Last night, at the pawnbrokers.
There's nothing to tell. I figured it'd pay me, so I broke into the place and started going through the storeroom. But the old bloke walked in on me and... you know the rest. But why, Ginny? Why would you do that? Ain't it obvious? Place is full of stuff I could sell for a shilling or two. It's not even any easy, you know. It's a lot of work. And half the time you don't get nothing. Don't even get nothing. Nothing. Shit.
Is that really why you broke into the place?
What?
Are you sure the true reason wasn't something else?
Oh, give it a rest. What'd be the point anyway, huh? Nothing I could say would make a blind bit of a difference. Please tell us, Ginny. We'll believe you, whatever it is. Believe me? Don't be daft. You can't believe nothing. Everyone lies all the time. And you know what? When it comes to liars, I'm the biggest of the lot. I've told some unforgivable lies, I have. What do you mean by that? What unforgivable lies?
Unforgivable lies. What did you mean before, Gina, when you said you were the biggest liar of the lot? Why don't you tell us what these unforgivable lies you've told are? Maybe we could help. Sorry. We're out of time. They're gonna want to question me now.
Ginny, please.
Oh, yeah. I wanted to give you this. Something to remember me by. A photographic print. A really adorable cat. I found it in one of the pockets of this coat. Ain't no point in me having it.
I wonder what a little photograph like that was doing in the pocket of that overcoat.
Anyway, don't bother coming again. Bye.
Oh, Ginny.
The white cat photograph has been entered into the court record. What is this? Look on the back of this print here. There's something written on it.
13th February, 9 o'clock p.m. Article deposited 1 small box. Loan amount paid 10 shillings. Redemption deadline 13th April, 9 o'clock p.m.
So this photographic print is the redemption ticket.
13th February? That could be significant. It was just 2 days before the murder on the omnibus, wasn't it?
A small box. That doesn't tell us much about it, does it?
Bruno, if Mr. McGilded still had the ticket, then presumably he never redeemed the article. So do you think the box might still be present somewhere in the shop?
Ah, yes. If it's something McGildy deposited, we need to investigate. The White Cat photograph's information has been updated in the court record.
Meow.
What is this? Mr. Windibank appears to have used the back of this photograph to write out a redemption ticket. He's written it very neatly, but still. Perhaps he ran out of paper, so he had to use anything he had to hand. Well, no, because there's no watchword there. It's hard to know what's the front and what's the reverse side now. This is an adorable little cat. I think it looks a little like Wagahai. I always thought that cats like to curl up inside under the heated Kotatsu blanket when it snowed. Kotatsu? Kotats. Maybe British cats are different. Here, Gina, look at this.
No, Tom.
I wasn't saying you could have it.
Want you? Well, when someone says I can't have stuff, it makes me want it, see? So you better hand it over right now.
No, I'm not giving it to you. Fine. Be this way. Alright, nothing else to say. We need to head out and check out Pawnbrokery. See if we can at least. See if Gregson's there to help us. Gotta find this box. 16th April, Windibank's Pawnbrokery. Oh yeah, what's that? Something's broken.
This is where it happened, then. Last night.
That's right. The two thugs I told you about were obviously ransacking the place, looking for valuables.
But, apart from the policeman in here, you wouldn't know anything had happened. There's no sign of a disturbance.
No, you're right about that, actually.
In fact, if anyone, it's the police who seem to be the ones doing the ransacking.
I know what you mean. They're like a gang of organized criminals, all dressed in black. Oi! I heard that! Ah. Oh, Inspector. Good morning. Suppose I ought to thank you for all your vigilance last night. Got to the scene before it was disturbed, at least. Now you get to disturb it, right? Shame you let the two rogues get away, mind? Yes, I'm sorry about that.
I thought you'd assign extra men to the beat around here, Gregsy. Now look what's happened. Hurley's been injured because there weren't enough police on duty.
Your ladyship! No one told me you were coming!
I expect you to take full responsibility for what happened to Hurley and see he has the very best medical care.
Of course, your ladyship. The very best doctors in the capital are tending to him as we speak.
And I don't think it's Runa's fault that the rogues managed to get away, is it? Chasing criminals is the police's job.
Absolutely, your ladyship. As you say, ma'am. As you say. Gent in Black is totally blameless. Everyone's in agreement about that. Do you believe it? It's like a completely different person with Iris. Talk about personality change. Oh, where are me manners? Are you thirsty, your ladyship? Perhaps you'd like some juice? Some nice, refreshing fruit juice.
Oh, why? Are you thirsty, Gregsy? I have some of my special herbal tea with me, if you'd like some.
Glove. Oh, hold on, wait. I got some water here. Ah, lovely. Ta very much. That really hit the spot, your ladyship. I spilled some water on me. God damn it. I'm doing that bit. I don't even recognize him like this. Ta very much. I love speaking English. English is fun. The investigation. So, how is the investigation going, Inspector? Nothing to it, really. Very simple case, this. There's some very definitive evidence. It was about to charge that diver we arrested last night, in fact. Gina? You're going to charge her? That's right. She'll be able to bring her before the judge at the Bailey tomorrow.
Definitive evidence, you say? What is it? Come on, show me.
Your ladyship, as much as I wish I could oblige you, I'm afraid.
Ah, I see. You've already captured the pair of thugs who broke in here last night, have you?
What the?
And you're going to put them on the stand as witnesses, are you?
How could you? How could you possibly know that?
I had a feeling, that's all.
Remind me never to try to keep a secret from Iris. I mean, we are. So, you've arrested the two men who shot Mr. Holmes, Mr. Sholmes, have you? Well, yes. They were rounded up pretty quickly by the lads on the beat. Really? And Miss Lestrade is being held at the prison. She should be. It's assuming she hasn't lifted the key from the jailer, of course. It's quite possible. Can you tell us anything about Mr. Sholmes? What's his condition? Sorry, I'm not at liberty to divulge that information. Scotland Yard matters are strictly confidential.
Well, I know he's being operated on at St. Sinas. Why can't I see him? I'm family, you know.
I'm terribly sorry, your ladyship. It's the hospital's policy. No visiting at all.
Oh.
The bullet must have hit an artery in his midriff. He's lost a fair bit of blood.
Oh, no.
It seemed too bad in the first hour or so. But hemorrhage like that is enough to make even the one and only Sholmes pipe down. Mr. Sholmes is a human like the rest of us, you know. Well, anyway, he's having emergency surgery right now. You've got to stop that bleeding.
But he will be alright, won't he? They'll be able to make him better.
Of course, your ladyship. He'll be as white as rain before you know it.
Really? How do you know?
How do I know? Because, of course. Yes, because Mr. Sholmes is such a great detective. That's why. You better pray for doctors have a better grasp of what's needed to make someone well again. Oh no, my internet's dying. We'll give it some time. Whoa. What is up with those drops? Has it been like this for quite a while? Ba-da-da-da-da. Da-na-na-na-na. Ba-na-na-na-na-na. That is going insane, man. My bitrate's like in free fall. It's like, oh yeah, we'll be sitting pretty at like, 4,600. Nice. Suddenly down to 1,000. Come back, please. Come back from your skydiving trip bitrate. Holy crap. It's good that I caught that. It's probably been happening for a while too. Unfortunate. Supreme unfortunate. Yeah, I dropped 3,000 frames. Wow. Okay. It looks like it's leveling out for now.
Oh dear. Please don't die early.
I'll report to your ladyship the moment I hear he's out of the operating theater. I couldn't help noticing, Inspector. What? Oh, with it, sunshine? Well, there seems to be a marked difference between the way you talk to me and Iris. Watch the sauce, Sonny. I'm a copper, and we don't go in for favoritism.
But he's right. You do treat us differently.
It's because of those Adventures of Herlock Sholmes stories. That's why. Oh. I crop up in them, don't I? Inspector Tobias Gregson.
Oh, well, yes, because you're an acquaintance of Hurley's.
What did you write about the Inspector, Iris?
I don't remember, really.
It was one of Sholmes' lines. Gregson is the smartest of the Scotland Yarders, is how he put it.
Oh, did I write that?
Don't you know what that one line did for me, huh? The very next month, my pay doubled! Doubled, I tell you. Ooh, that's amazing. All because everyone at the yard reads them. They read all the Herlock Sholmes stories. They've even set up a fan club for me. Oh, nice.
Of course, that explains everything. It was around that time you became such a toady to me.
Can you blame me? All it takes is one bad word from you and Sholmes could change his tune about me. Gregson? No, the great detective will say. He's getting quite overrated these days. Think what would happen to my salary if that came in print, huh? Oh, you know what? I think I changed the volume of my Elgato the other day. Hold on, wait. Doing some testing. We'll set it to about here. Let's see how that works. The whole thing gives me the willies. I can't tell you how many nights of sleep I've lost worrying. I've lost to worrying about it.
But that would never happen, Gregsy.
Every month when a new Rants magazine comes out, my hands are trembling as I turn the pages.
Oh, how awful for you. Here, have some of my tea to settle your nerves.
Oh, wait, do I gotta drink again? Ah, lovely. Oh, very much. That really hit the spot, your ladyship. Teetotal. Oh, yeah. There's something I was supposed to talk to you about, actually, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes? What is it? I've got an important message for you. I clean forgot about it until now. Important message? I wonder what it could be. Ba-na-na-na-na. Are you going to tell me this important message? What this important message is, then, Inspector? Yeah, it's about that young lady who's normally by your side. Your assistant.
Dear Susie, is she all right?
She's at the station, isn't she? Being questioned, I believe. Nope, not anymore. She had to head off. Head off? Where? Lord Strongheart's office, of course. He summoned her. Ah, yes, of course. I'd forgotten about that. One of the Whipstocks took her there in a yard carriage after we finished questioning her. But she asked us to tell you she didn't have the fare for the return journey and to go meet her there. She got a nerve using Scotland Yard as a bloomin' messaging service. I see. Well, thank you for passing that on, Inspector.
Why does Susie have to go see the Lord Chief Justice?
She didn't tell me. I better head over to the Lord Chief Justice's office to fetch her straight away. I guess I'll let the cops investigate. Ah, here we go. Susie's waiting. 16th April. British Supreme Court. Lord Chief Justice's office. Yes. No matter how many times I come here, I get the same sense of oppressiveness somehow.
Do you think the place is oppressive? I think it's normal.
How so?
I mean, look at that suit of armor over there. You can't take that seriously, can you?
Maybe he thinks the same about you. So everything is clear with regard to tomorrow's arrangements, I trust? Yes, thank you very much. Alright. There they are. Sato-san and Lord Strongheart.
I wonder what they're talking about. Both look very serious.
Very good. There is nothing further to discuss. You may return to your lodgings. No doubt you have much to do in preparation for your return to your homeland.
What?
Wait. What did he just say? You return to your homeland? Susato-san!
Oh, Mr. Naruhodo.
What was that all about? What was all that about? My bad. Oh, Mr. Naruhodo. Thank you for coming to collect your colleague. What's this all about? Why were you talking about Mr. Sato's return to her homeland? And tomorrow?
Tomorrow? But what about Ginny's trial? You mean she's been formally charged now? Oh dear.
Mr. Sato, what's all this about?
Oh, please don't concern yourself, Mr. Naruhodo. It's only me going back to Japan. Your life here can continue just as it...
That's not what I asked. What happened? Why are you leaving?
It's my father. He's fallen ill. Oh no!
Professor Mikotoba? If I may. Yes, sorry. You must be the defendant. Ryunosuke Naruhodo, I believe. Yes, that's right. My name is Eugene Mikotoba. I am a professor of forensic medicine at Yume University. We received an international telegram from the Empire of Japan informing us of the news.
10 days ago, Father collapsed with a fever. The cause is apparently unknown.
It's Corona!
It seems he grows weaker day by day.
I don't believe it. As you are aware, the voyage from here to your country's capital, Tokyo, takes some 50 days. I thought it would be prudent to hasten Miss Susato's departure as much as possible.
Yes, absolutely. I will leave London first thing tomorrow morning.
I can't believe this is happening. Shit.
So, Gina has been charged? She'll have to appear in court?
Yes, she was formally charged a few hours ago. The date of the trial has already been set for tomorrow.
No! Not even 24 hours later?
Gina. Ah, the Lestrade girl and the murder of the Baker Street pawnbroker. Yes. An all too transpicuous case. Okay, transpicuous, huh? The pickpocket was clearly disturbed mid-robbery and shot the man in a panic. No, the yard is overstretched as it is, without wasting time in these open and shut cases.
It's not wasting time. Ginny would never do something like that.
Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, yes, Lord Strongheart. In deference of your fine services to date, I shall overlook this young girl's insolence. But I have no recollection of admitting a child into my office. Leave. Now.
Of course, Lord Strongheart.
Criminals will tell the most palpable lies in order to evade justice. The police can ill afford the time it takes to unravel all their untruths. Meanwhile, more crimes are perpetrated. We have far more serious matters with which to contend.
Serious matters? Gregson mentioned something like that yesterday. Yes, Inspector Gregson made a similar remark yesterday.
It's no concern of yours, though I am sure I need not remind you of that. Did he? Where did we meet Gregson yesterday? Just at the, Huh. I don't remember meeting Gregson at all. The two characters might have met him, like, in the middle of the morning, right? I guess I'll get more information as time goes on. 3 minutes precisely until my next meeting. You must excuse me. There's just one more thing, Lord Strongheart. Which is? It's Miss Lestrade's trial. I wonder if you might permit me to defend her. A timely suggestion. Sorry? The girl currently has no representation.
But that's not fair. Yes, she may be a pickpocket, but she still deserves a fair trial.
Do not misunderstand me, young lady. The government provides for those too poor to afford representation with the public defender. The accused need only sign the relevant paperwork, and a defense barrister will be assigned to the case. However, The young girl in question has refused that right. Why would she do that? A question you would do well to direct at Miss Lestrade. You'll find her at the local prison. Yes, thank you. Now then, it's time I was leaving. Good day to you. What a day. Gina charged with murder. Susato-san about to leave.
Come, Miss Naruto. Iris. We must make haste. But, Susie, you're leaving for Japan tomorrow morning, aren't you? Don't you have packing and things to do? As Mr. Naruto's judicial assistant, my personal circumstances are of no consequence. My sole purpose remains to help you in whatever way I can.
Thank you, Miss Susato. It's a very pensive look.
I think we ought to visit Gina first. In any case, I should like to wish her well before I leave. Yes, that sounds like a good idea. Let's go.
If I'm honest, this has completely thrown me off. I just have to do what I can. As a lawyer.
The clock is ticking.
The clock is ticking. 16th April. Local prison. Cell 13.
Ah!
Hello again, Gina.
What are you lot here for now?
Have the muzzle of that grenade launcher shoved in our faces yet again, obviously.
I think I need to improve the way you load ammunition into that thing, don't I? Look! You can't come as many times as you like, but I ain't got nothing more to say to you. Gina, I wonder if you might hear me out. There's something I'd like to say. What? I'm sorry to say that I must reluctantly bid you farewell. Huh? Farewell? Tomorrow I must begin my journey back home, to Japan. I fear we may never meet again. Oh, right. I've had the pleasure of meeting so many lovely people here in London. I have so many wonderful memories. And yet, as things stand now, it will be a glum parting indeed. Poor Iris is so miserable. Susie? Well, that ain't my business. Both Iris and Mr. Naruto believe you to be innocent, Gina. They put their faith in you. But somehow, you can't find it in your heart to put your faith in them. Yeah, that's right, I can't. What of it? It grieves me greatly to have to say goodbye to my friends when they are so clearly unhappy. Because of you. Oh, what? It's my fault? Yes. So I have one final request, Gina, before our paths never cross again. Right here and now. I want you to show both of them that you don't deserve the faith they've invested in you. Huh? Only by doing that will you truly be as alone as you claim to be. What are you talking about? What do you expect me to do, huh? You've told us that everyone lies. So prove it. By admitting one of your own untruths. Well, to be fair, you weren't here for that, Susato, but I understand that, you know, depending on how I came here, I might have visited you first, Susato, then came with you, and then you'd be here. That alright, whatever. What about what you said before? What about what you said before, Ginny? You said something about unforgivable lies. You must tell Mr. Naruto and Iris the truth now. That is my last request before I leave. My last request as a judicial assistant. No, I can't. Whatever these lies are, they're obviously weighing very heavily on Gina's mind. Gina, I could be wrong, but
Is it something to do with what happened 2 months ago? Something about that trial? The one in which Magnus McGilded was acquitted. In the case of that mysterious murder that took place inside the omnibus. You were called as a witness by the prosecution. Is that what this is about?
Yeah, you're right. Because in that trial, I lied. I lied like you wouldn't believe.
Will you tell us about it now?
Like you said, it all happened 2 months ago. Papa's got hold of me and shoved me in the witness stand.
Based on your testimony, Mr. McGilded was declared innocent.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I lied about a whole bunch of stuff.
I knew it.
What sort of thing did you lie about? I was hiding under the seat that night. That was the truth. It was pitch black in that little cubbyhole. Couldn't see a thing, and then I heard that loud thud, like someone falling on the floor.
And that's when Mr. McGilded discovered you.
Yeah. He pulled me out from under the seat and sat me next to the dead man. I don't much like to see by, but when I look at my hands, I had a cove's blood all over him. I was so scared. Couldn't even speak.
You had his blood on your hands. In other words, it was Gina the witnesses on the roof deck saw through the skylight.
Then Mr. McGilded started asking you questions, I suppose. Who you were and why you were hiding under the seat. Yeah, he did. Only, that's not all.
What do you mean?
I mean, he threatened me.
Threatened you how?
Made me swear about what I'd seen and what I'd heard. About what he was going to do after the cove was found dead. Made me swear I wouldn't tell no one about any of it. If I did that, he said he'd let me scarp him before the coppers showed up.
Gina, you must tell me what you swore to secrecy about. What you saw, what you heard, everything. Oh my god. You said McGilded made you swear not to tell anybody what you saw. But you were in the pitch black compartment and under the seat the whole time, weren't you?
Yes, with Mr. McGilded sitting above your head, if I remember correctly. Yeah, that's true, but it was when I heard the thud of the cove hitting the floor. I heard a little scream, see? I couldn't help it. McGilded heard that and dragged me out by my arm. That's when I saw it. It was on the floor next to the old geezer what had been stabbed. A disc. All bright and shiny. A disc.
Do you mean?
Yeah, that's it. The one what the D took off me at Winterbanks.
So the music box disc was there on the floor of the omnibus.
Not for long. McGilded spotted it straight away. Picked it up smartish and stuffed it inside his pocket.
So that disc was in the omnibus 2 months ago at the scene of Mr. Mason's murder.
And the bog trotter told me. I want to mutter a word of it to no one.
What you heard?
Because it was so dark under the seat in the cab, I was straining my ears the whole time. After a while, I heard the door and footsteps inside the cabin.
Presumably, that was McGilded getting on board.
Nah, not only him. Oh, because I could definitely make out the footsteps of two people. Oh. In that case, it would seem likely that it was Mr. McGilded and the victim.
This thrice-fired Mason.
In his testimony during the trial, Mr. McGilded claimed he slept during the carriage ride. But whatever, I'm in a carriage. I'm taken with a fierce tiredness, and I always succumb to it.
And your own testimony, Gina, supported his.
All I could hear was the Irishman snoring.
Yeah, that weren't exactly true. Neither of them was asleep. I could hear them talking the whole time, low voices. What? What were they talking about? Sorry, I don't know. The sound of the horses and the wheels was too loud. But that still tells us something. Mr. McGillicuddy and the victim knew each other. So McGillicuddy was lying, as I suspected. After the event, I knew it wasn't going to take long before someone raised the alarm that the bloke had been killed. Yes, you were quite right. The other passengers on the roof deck noticed very quickly. So when the cab came to a stop, McGillicuddy told me to hide back under the seat again. I climbed in and waited. The two cows from up top ran off to get the coppers. Yes, Mr. Fairplay and Mr. First. Right, and after they'd gone, McGillicuddy asked the driver to do him a favor. A favor?
Now then, fella, what I need you to do is take this coat of mine and deposit it with a nearby pawnbroker. And for your troubles, let's see now. Aye, I'll give you 10 guineas.
A nearby pawnbroker? You mean on Baker Street?
Yup, you got it. It was at Winterbanks. The coachee snapped up the money and ran off to pop this coat as fast as he could.
So then there was no one left in the carriage. McGillicuddy opened the box under the seat. Let me get out of there. But not without conditions. I see. What were McGillicuddy's conditions then? For letting you go free, I mean. Not telling a soul. Not for anything. Not for anything. About what I saw and what I heard. And there was something else as well. There's more? Yeah. This is the most important thing, he said.
I'm after sending the coachman on a little errand for me, with some small change in his hand. Now then, did you hear what I asked of him? Did you see anything at all? At all? You asked him to go pop your weasel, right? Aye. The fiend's taken me overcoat to deposit with a pawnbroker hereabouts. I want you, lass, to take the redemption ticket for it. Do you understand? What? You want me to have the ticket? That's right. I'll come fetch it from you later. Sometime within the next 2 months. You'd hang on to it until then. Is that clear? Whatever you do, don't lose it. All right, then. And in case I might happen to be delayed at all, you're to go to the pawn shop. Winterbank, so it is. And you're to extend the loan afore the 2 months is up. If you forget, the article will be forfeited and any old fiend could come along and buy it. But I got that kind of brass. Here's £5. That should be enough. Do we understand each other, lass? Don't try anything funny now. You go against me. Yeah, I get it. Good. One more thing. In a few days from now, you'll be visited by the police, I've no doubt. The coppers? Aye. They'll come asking you to take the stand in court, to testify as a witness. Let's just have a wee chat about it, shall we? What is it that you might say? And what is it that you won't?
After he'd gone over it all, I piked him. Got as far away from there as I could. He had the pawnbroker's ticket in some bushes near the scene. And to fetch it the next day once it got dark. So McGillicuddy planned it. Coerced Gina into giving false testimony. I bet you're ready to string me up, eh? I lied. Big old courtroom. Told some corkers. Thing is, he said he would make it so
we couldn't live in the East End no more. That's what he threatened me with. What? Wicked man. Knew everything what went on in the back slums. He knew we had no one to look after us. And we was all just looking out for each other, getting by together. So you mean Mr. McGilded would have... In an heartbeat. Would have had a lot of us chased out of there if he wanted. And then... Where could we have gone, huh? Nowhere, that's where. So... I didn't have no choice.
Thank you, Gina, for telling us everything.
But... I'm for it now, huh? Go on, admit it. You must be livid.
Well, you can make amends by doing me a simple favor.
A favor? What?
Sign the representation papers for tomorrow's trial.
Huh?
If you don't actually want me to represent you in court, you can rip it up later. But we need that paperwork or we can't investigate. The police won't let us.
Investigate what?
The scene of the incident last night. Mr. Sholmes was shot, you see.
You what? Hell, he's having a big operation right now, Ginny. Is it bad? Is he gonna be alright? Sholmes is gonna be alright, right?
That's why I want to investigate. For Sholmes' sake as much as anything.
Right. So what you're saying is, if I sign that bit of paper, everyone's happy, is that it?
Something like that. Mr. Sato?
Yes, of course. I have the representation papers here.
I need no one to stick up for me, though. No lawyer, nothing.
Poor Ginny. She seems so lonely.
Gina's representation papers have been entered into the court record. Paperwork signed by Gina to put me in charge of her defense, showing this Scotland Yard detectives gains us access to the crime scene. Well, at least this should mean we can investigate the scene at Windibanks now.
Yes. And perhaps we can come back to visit Ginny when we're done here? Done there? Oops.
I feel like we finally cracked Gina. She's opened up to us at last. Representation read. I, the undersigned, agreed to legal representation by the lawyer named here under in regard to the following incident. Defendant Gina Lestrade, alleged offense murder of the Baker Street pawnbroker. Date of trial 17th April 10 a.m. Attorney in law. Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Now I have her representation papers. One else knows just what a responsibility that is. Anyway, for now, it means Inspector Gregson can't stop us investigating at Windibanks. Although something tells me he's not going to be happy about it. To be continued. I'm liking this defendant. There's several defendants throughout the entirety of the game series that I haven't liked. I didn't like Max. Max Galactica, I think his name was. I didn't like him. I liked the case though. The case was really good. It was really fucking good. I remember I acted that one out and I started crying. How good that was. That's how good that one was. What was another one I can think of off the top of my head? But no, this one's really good. I haven't known Gina that much, but hey. Poggers, I don't think she did it. That's like one of the more important things to do. 16th April, 1:26 p.m., Windibanks Pawnbrokery. Here we are, again at the scene of the crime. Now to thrust these representation papers in Gregson's face and see what he makes of them. Hello again, Inspector. Do you have a minute, please? What is it now? Should go home and get some rest.
Here you are, Gregsy. Here are the representation papers.
Your Ladyship! How? I don't believe it! How the devil did you get that stubborn little ragabash to sign that? I salute you. That is good work, that is.
I can see you've been very busy here as well. How about some tea? Oh, shit. I'm almost out of water, though. Special blend designed to relieve fatigue.
Lovely. Well, let's see now. Yes, I hardly feel tired at all. I'm fit as a fiddle, your ladyship. Would it be alright if we investigated the scene of the crime, then? Do as you please. You know where it happened. Through that door behind the counter. Swoosh. Yes, the storm. That's where I discovered Mr. Windibank. And Ginny. Gina. Holy crap. Right, well, we'll be getting back to business then. Well, you've been investigating in the storeroom as well, Inspector. If I'm perfectly honest, we need to wrap this up before long. Can't afford to spend too much time on it. But there are so many articles to go through, it's taking forever, even with the lads working around the clock. Which is a problem, because there's another case the Yard needs to investigate urgently. Must be what Lord Strongheart meant by far more serious matters before. So what I'm saying is, don't get under my feet, sunshine! Understood.
Come then. Let's not waste any time.
Yep, it looks like I'm not gonna find anything there. Looks like they are busy exploring here. If I'm gonna find a box, it ain't happening now. I can ask one of them, like, oh my fucking god. Alright, what's it back there?
Behind that door. It's the storeroom, isn't it? That's what Gregsy said.
Yes, and that's where I saw that dreadful scene last night. Through the little window in the door. Oof. Mr. Windibank, face down on the floor, with Gina beside him.
As the accused legal representative, bleh, you have the right to examine the scene, Mr. Naruto. You must make a thorough investigation.
Yes, of course. We will. Behind that door. That's the real scene of the crime.
Don't worry. If there are any clues in there, I'll find them.
I bet you will. We have a new location yet? Sweet. Poor Mr. Windibank. Poor Mr. Windibank. Doof. Oh shit. 16th April, Windibank storeroom. Oh, Iris. She's clammed up completely.
Iris is bound to find this difficult. After all, Mr. Windibank's life was taken in this very room only last night.
Why the fuck am I bringing a child into the crime scene here? Wait! Inspector! What is it now, Sunshine?
You took one look at me and tried to run away.
Think a Scotland Yard inspector would run away from some jumped-up little defense lawyer, do ya? Well... I've never seen her ladyship looking like that before, is the thing. I don't know what to say to her. So you weren't running away from me. You were running away from a 10-year-old.
I'm afraid this is a little much for young Iris. Some gentle reassurance might go a long way, perhaps, Inspector.
Huh? Don't trouble yourself unduly, your ladyship. I mean, at least you're not dead, are you?
I don't think that went very well.
Why? Look, I'm in the middle of an investigation here, Sunshine. I told you not to get under my feet.
Do we have investigating to do ourselves?
Yes. I'd like to hear more of what the socially inept inspector has to say.
Oh, Hurley.
Inquire into how Mr. Sholmes' operation is going. So, Inspector, what do you make of the crime scene here? Huh. You've got eyes, haven't you? Use them. That's what it looks like. Nothing more, nothing less. Iris, could you lend me a hand?
So, Gregsy, what do you make of the crime scene here?
Oh, yes, your ladyship. Do allow me to humbly explain. Last night, and shortly after the hour of 1 o'clock in the morning, Scotland Yard police attended the scene. The one and only door to the storeroom was found locked from the inside. So it was locked from the inside.
The lock appears to be broken now, though. Was it the police officer's doing?
Quite right, ma'am, quite right. We took the liberty of smashing the door in, as humbly as possible.
Oh,
As you can see, the victim was discovered prostrate on the floor, thus wise. And next to the aforementioned body, we discovered the vile gutter child.
are you talking about Ginny? She's my friend, you know, Inspector.
Miss Lestrade, the hapless girl, was curled up on the floor, dead to the world. She's still alive, you know. Yes, when I saw her, she appeared to be unconscious. I'm afraid to say she had the gun that was used in her hand.
No.
Presumably, it's the gun that's still down there on the floor now. In her pocket, we found the key to the door as well.
What? The key to the storeroom? And you say the storeroom had been locked from the inside, Inspector?
Correct. All of which leaves her ladyship's friend. Something of a sticky situation, I'm afraid.
Fuck. That is a bit... Well, there are certain ways to make this locked room mystery happen. This little magic trick. We'll have to see what that entails.
Perhaps the angle of which he was shot might...
No, she was holding the gun. That's the biggest problem.
Damn. Obviously, my personal opinion is that some sort of misunderstanding. Of course it is, Inspector. Of course it is.
Gregsy, do you know anything about Hurley? Is the operation finished? Is Hurley alright? Is he?
The thing is,
Don't miss your words, Inspector, please. You don't mean to say that Mr. Sholmes is...
No! The operation's done and dusted. It's just that, well...
Out with it!
Yes, ma'am! They use something called a general anesthetic. It's the latest thing. Renders the whole body insensitive. The whole body.
Anesthetized? Oh shit. I can't say that word.
Is that even possible? It means the operation can be completed while the patient is fast asleep.
Goodness. In the Empire of Japan, we just managed to provide laughing gas for a tooth extraction.
The trouble is, the latest thing isn't always the greatest thing, if you follow my meaning. We couldn't get the medication to work at first, so it took hours for him to nod off. Or so I hear. Now that the op's finished, I can't get him to wake up, apparently.
Oh my.
No one knows if the anesthetic's still in the system, or if the bloke's just plain exhausted. But anyway, all they can do is stand back and watch until he comes round again.
Hurley.
The moment he opens his eyes, your ladyship, I swear I shall get word to you. A surprise. Even in matters of life and death, Mr. Sholmes has to do things his way. Alright, start examining the room. Let's first take a look at this oddly viola-shaped fucking bloodstain. The police have marked the position of the body with a chalkmark.
Oh, Mr. Winterbank. He was a nice old man.
Well, he was shot just once, through the heart. Most likely the fellow died instantly. He wouldn't have felt a thing. Nothing but the bullet entering his back and wondering, and then dead.
Aha! I may well be able to help with that.
What?
There's nothing like the sight of blood to get the blood pumping, is there, Runo?
I have a feeling I'm not as bloody-minded as you, Iris.
I'm afraid the sight of blood makes my blood run cold. There you have it, you see? When it comes to blood, we're all different types.
Yes, what a scientific observation.
So you need this.
Oh no. What is that scary-looking thing?
Ellie and I actually haven't come up with a name for it yet.
Oh my god, I can't speak.
But as soon as you see it in action, you'll understand what it does.
Oh god.
Watch!
Poof. Oh. Oh, the blood stain has changed.
There. Does it make sense now?
Yes, I think I'm starting to understand.
Good. It works on the principle that different people have different types of blood, you see. Yes, how wonderful. The chemical it fires combines with the blood and makes it change color. So you can identify whose blood it is that you're looking at. In a flash! Oh, what a fabulous invention, Iris. Isn't it? Isn't it? I bet Ginny would say it's bleeding great.
So, whose blood are we looking at then?
This must be Mr. Winterbank's blood.
Yes, this is where he was shot, so can't be any question of that.
This could turn out to be a very valuable clue. So we simply must make a note of it.
The blood analysis has been entered into the court record.
Let's keep testing and adding the results of any other blood analysis to the portfolio.
Ah, just like the calendar out there.
As long as I have reagent left, sure.
Oh. She's gonna run out. Fuck. A bike. Wait a minute, a bike? There's a bunch of stuff in this room. The smoking gun. This is the revolver. A real one. What do you think the one that you picked up like months ago wasn't a real one?
And quite possibly the murder weapon used to take Mr. Winterbank's life. What's the matter, Susie? You and Bruno look like you're about to faint. Well, it's just that I've rarely seen a gun in the flesh.
And I've had issues with guns in the past. But anyway, we saw Mr. Winterbank with this yesterday, didn't we? There should only be one bullet in the chamber then. Which means that there should be none left over then. Just a casing. I shall have to take my own life! No! It's all my fault. Must be the same gun. And last night, I looked through the spy hole in the door to the storeroom here. It's the same gun I saw in Gina's hand.
Mr. Winterbank told us that he only ever had a single bullet loaded in his revolver, didn't he? Well, it's empty now, and the one and only bullet he had in his gun has been fired.
So we're fairly certain that only a single shot was fired from this revolver. Interesting. But all these articles have been deposited. The room is stuffed full of them.
I can't believe how many there are. A bicycle, a gramophone, musical instruments, and some enormous paintings. Look!
Pieces of different people's lives quietly gathering dust in here together. I'm very peaceful about the atmosphere in here. Or at least, what there would be. It's the chalk outline on the floor and the policemen shuffling about. Not much I can do about that, sunshine. I believe you actually heard my thought there. Whoops. I wanted them to talk about paintings. There's a box I'm looking for. Shit, there's too many fucking boxes in here, though. Could be that box. stuff. Oh, looks like that. This chest right here is the only one left. Out of all the articles in the storeroom, this is the only thing that shows any sign of being ransacked.
Ah!
What is it, Iris?
That's the box file my manuscript was being kept in. Oh,
Iris's unpublished story, The Hound of the Baskervilles. Surely that's not what all this...
sorry, Iris, but if you ask me, he sold it. Without telling you. We must check inside the box. At once! Yes.
Empty, I bet.
It was there. Iris's story was there.
Really? It was? Well, that's good news, isn't it, Iris?
Yes. I mean, of course I believed Hurley when he said he deposited it here, but still, it's a relief to actually see it.
Really? That's a very well-hidden frown. Iris's manuscript has been entered into the court record. A long, unpublished story that Mr. Sholmes deposited at the pawnbrokery of the victim, Mr. Windibank. It's entitled, The Hound of the Baskervilles. Can't find anything in the place. Oh, right, it has to light up. The Hound of the Baskervilles. How does the Sato-san know the exact title of this unpublished story? I suppose I'll just have to wait until she's ready to explain it to me.
I'm so sorry.
Damn! This is a thick boy. Ooh. Pop Windibank. Oh, right, I can look at people, can't I? Oh, look, Sholmes! Eggert Benedict. Alright. Inspector Gregson, could you give me your opinion about this, do you think? We don't tend to share, Sunshine. Not with the general public. Oh.
In that case, Gregsy, how about some herbal tea?
Yeah, I'm out of water now. I can't do that. Oh, lovely. Not very much. That's really hit the spot, your ladyship. You don't mind sharing that, then? Anything about the manuscript? Is that what I think it is? Your ladyship's latest?
Yes, my latest story. It's called The Hound of the Baskervilles.
A most fascinating title, your ladyship. Fascinating. And, I don't suppose. Will there be any mention of my humble self in the tale this time?
Good question. I can't really remember.
I see. Well, why would you, your ladyship? I'll just await your publication with eager anticipation. You needn't worry, Inspector. I'm sure if you do appear, you won't be doing anything particularly remarkable. You looking to be arrested, Sunshine? I didn't mean it like that. If I did, you wouldn't have bitten her ladyship's head off, would you? Alright. Join the main shop. Ah, look here. Whoa, a bullet.
Oh yes, a bullet hole. I can see the bullet is still lodged in the wall.
Presumably, Mr. Windibank wasn't practicing his revolver in his spare time.
Ah, well, Mr. Mr. Sholmes likes to practice in his drawing room whenever he can. He's very patriotic like that.
Sorry.
It's all there in the Adventures of Herlock Sholmes, you know. Isn't that right, Iris? Ah, did I write something like that? Partly in jest, perhaps. In jest? Well, he doesn't do it often. It is quite a dangerous pastime.
He doesn't do it often. He shouldn't even do it once.
Forget that for now, Bruno. Let's examine this bullet.
What's around the bullet hole? Is it blood? Suspicious red stain on the calendar.
Aha! This is where I come in.
Oh, right. If the blood changes to be the same color as the sample from the storeroom, we'll know that it's Mr. Windibank's color. Mr. Windibank's blood. Shit.
Exactly. Here we go, then.
Poof, it's green.
Damn, I did it! I guessed right!
It's completely different to the color that Mr. Windibank's blood turned in the analysis.
Ah, really?
It just goes to show, things don't always go according to plan, do they? Nevertheless, we must add this sample to the results of the other blood analysis.
The blood samples portfolio has been updated in the court record. Going to talk to Bobby. This officer has been staring intently at the wall since before we came in here. Shh! Keep it down! Oh, sorry. It's a major clue just there.
Really? Then we must tell Gregsy at once.
As soon as I report it, that'll be it. We're stuck here even longer. Stuck here? What do you mean? I've been home in 2 days already. I need the constable to relieve me and take over me shift. Ah, do they have a tough time, the British police?
That doesn't stop us investigating, does it?
No, I suppose not. Really sure was the calendar he was peering at. He's just staring at the bloody calendar. Police is scouring every inch of this place, by the look of it. Instructions of the yard are to examine every article in the shop and every ledger and book of accounts. Every article? But that's a ridiculous amount of work, surely. We've been hard at it ever since the shop was declared a crime scene in the early hours. We must sift it through through it in all shifts at least, but all of it in shifts at least. So we'll be working through the night, that's for sure. And even then, we'll barely have scratched the surface. Crime in a pawnbrokers. Must be every policeman's worst nightmare. Every copper's worst nightmare, you know. Crime in a pawnbrokers.
These shelves are where the pawnbroker puts articles that have been forfeited on display for customers to buy.
This is a really strange miscellany. Holy crap, isn't it? I mean, who would buy this horse statue, for example?
Well, sometimes you can find real treasures among all the junk, you know? Are you alright, Reno?
Oh, it's just... well, it looks like a collection of useless junk as a whole. When you pick out individual things, you can't help wishing you owned them. Even that horse statue.
That's exactly how the pawnbroker works. They're very clever. That's a music box. Do you have them where you come from, Bruno?
Yes, but I've never seen one as large as this in Japan.
Oh, well, this will be a treat. Shall we have a listen? What do you think? Is this a pretty sound?
It's a beautiful sound, yes, but it's a little hard to enjoy when all the policemen in the room are giving you the fierce looks.
Never mind that. If any of them say anything, I'll tell Gregsy to have a word.
Iris Wilson, Superintendent of Scotland Yard. I'm fairly sure this contraption was here yesterday as well. Here we are. Well, I'm not confident I can get it closed again.
Oh, yes. That's a folding stereoscope.
Really? This is a stereoscope? Mr. Sholmes showed us a picture yesterday that you were supposed to be able to see in 3 dimensions. But for that, he used the great big contraption over there.
Ah, Ah, well, that's for use in public houses and places like that. It contains a carousel with all sorts of pictures inside. But this little thing is a much simpler design for use at home. There's special shops selling prints you can use in them. I have a little collection myself.
I wonder if I can make money off of these in Japan. It would be keeping my toilet sparkling clean anyway. I wonder if we can put the cat picture in there. Oh. There's the article letter here, Mr. Windbank's notes. What's this? Looks as though someone has left a little photographic print behind.
Oh, look on the back. There's some writing. Is there? Oh, show us, Susie. Show us.
Yeah, like words. Is that blood? 15th February, 10:30 p.m. Article deposited, 1 gentleman's overcoat. Loan amount paid, £1. Redemption deadline, 15th April, 10:30 p.m. Oh, my bad, that was a subtle. A gentleman's overcoat pawned for £1. Clearly it was a very fine coat. In fact, I think.
Yes, this must be the ticket for the overcoat that Ginny redeemed yesterday.
And is still wearing, which belonged to McGilded. I never expected the redemption ticket to be handwritten on the back of the photograph.
It seems Mr. Windibank just used whatever piece of paper he happened to have on hand.
Is that so? But this photograph of a cat, it looks very familiar, doesn't it? I'm sure I've seen this exact same picture somewhere else recently.
Oh, yes, you're right. Very recently. It's the same as the one Ginny gave us earlier.
Of course! I was forgetting that she gave us that print.
Well, what are you waiting for then, Mr. Naruto? Get it out!
All right. Cog's turn.
Yes, they are exactly the same. I've got it. These two photographs hide an amazing secret.
A secret? What does she mean?
You must tell us, Iris, at once. Do you really, really, really want to know?
Yes. I need you to tell us all you know about this pair of photographs. So, Iris, about these two photographic prints. The one we found here on Mr. Windibank's counter and the one Gina gave us before. Oh god, excuse me. What is this amazing secret you mentioned that's hidden between these two identical prints? It's simple.
Actually, that's not quite right.
Sorry?
If you look carefully, the two prints aren't the same. Not exactly.
They're not?
Have another look at them now.
Oh. The cat on the left is facing to the left, and less of the snowman's face is showing on the one on the right.
Can you see that they're just slightly different from each other?
I think so. It's very subtle, though.
But what's the reason for the subtle difference between the two prints?
They're using a stereoscope.
Ah, well, it's because they're a set, you see.
No, I don't.
This pair of photographs is meant to be used in a stereoscope. Everyone in London is raving about them at the moment.
Ah, a stereoscope. Why do I feel as though I've heard that word before recently?
Oh, yes, that's what Mr. Sholmes showed us yesterday. You see, there it is, just over there.
Ah, yes, of course. That magical machine that makes pictures look almost real enough to touch.
Well, actually, it's quite possible to see the same depth in pictures even without one of those contraptions.
What? Really?
Do you know how a pair of flat photographic prints can appear to have any depth in the first place? No, I have no idea. Oh, wonderful. Then I'll be able to tell you.
She's over the moon, bless her. Should we let her explain, though? We really need to carry on investigating the scene. Of course!
I, for one, simply have to know.
Oh, God.
Have you ever considered, Runo, how our eyes see depth in the world around us?
Well, I just open them, and it works.
But the reason it works is because we have two eyes.
2 eyes. Shocking.
If you try closing just one eye at a time, I think you'll see straight away what you see with your left eye and what you see with your right eye.
Woof.
Are ever so slightly different, you get a different view with each eye. Yes, the position of objects seem to shift slightly. Exactly, and in your head, your brain uses that shift to estimate depth as it merges the two views into one. That's how we can sense depth in everything we see.
My brain really is amazing, isn't it? It does so much without telling me.
Ah, I think I see. So the pair of photographs consists of a left eye view and a right eye view. Is that right? Oh, well done, Susie. You're so quick.
So, if you could persuade your brain to merge the two pictures together in your head, you'd be able to see depth in these prints. Scratch myself a bit too hard.
Yes, Runo, you're beginning to understand.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I saw it drop there for a moment. Can't fool me. Uh-oh. That was scary. And the stereoscope's function is to act as your brain and allow you to do just that?
Yes, but as long as you have two images, two eyes, and one brain, you can actually do it yourself without needing a stereoscope at all.
You can. Really? I mean, technically, to view a stereoscope, all you really need to do is cross your eyes.
Let's try it. Let's see if we can view this pair of prints without the help of a stereoscope. Oh, yes, I'm dying to have a go.
Sato-san really loves this kind of thing.
You'll need to be able to cross your eyes. That's the main thing. Can you both do that?
Cross my eyes? I think I can.
Watch me, and see if you can copy. Make your eyes do this. All right, let me try. Are you ready, Mr. Naruhodo?
Oh, God.
There. How's that? Wonderful. Now it's your turn, Runo. The trick is to concentrate on looking on the bridge of your nose with both eyes at the same time.
Not exactly an easy task when two people are staring at you cross-eyed.
All right, that's enough practice. Now let's try looking at the prints. Start by staring at one point and slowly crossing your eyes.
Oh, Lord Jesus! Why would you do this?
You should see two overlapping images like this.
You try it now, Runo. I'm just going to have to give it a try, I suppose.
Did the print split into two images for you? Now, the next step is to put the pair of prints side by side like this, and then to try crossing your eyes again. The prints should slowly merge together until they form a new single image in the center. Oh, yes! This is how it works! I can see it in the middle now! It looks so real! Oh, I could look at it all day!
I wouldn't advise that. Your eyes might start to hurt.
Your turn, Runo.
Oh, fuck.
Pretend you're looking through the two pictures and slowly cross your eyes. Keep adjusting the position of your eyes until the two images overlap exactly in the middle.
Alright, so from where I'm sitting, I'm currently at an angle in the television. Not only that, but I can't really... God, you gotta unfocus my eyes. Ugh. Nope. Like this, is it? I can't see anything, dude. You managed it. So now you know how stereoscopic images work. It didn't work for me, Iris. I'm sorry. The image was just too far. I can't see shit. Sitting like 6 feet away from the television doesn't work. Even looking at my computer screen didn't work neither. Well, I don't know who discovered it, but it really is quite extraordinary. That was a journey. If you tried it and you saw it, congratulations. Leave a comment down. Leave a comment down in the comment section down below. There you go. And I think that's the point. When you look at it, it blurs out. At least it blurs out for me. Jesus. I think that's mostly because it's in between my glasses.
So, what do you think of these stereoscopic prints then, Runo?
They're certainly amazing, but it isn't easy to get the knack of viewing them properly.
No, some people find it easier than others. But that's why contraptions like this exist. People who find it tricky. Oh, I recognize that. We saw one over there yesterday, didn't we?
Still there.
If I remember correctly, you press this little knob here. It's a pair of photographs in the stand at the back, and...
Still amazing, even though I know roughly how it works now.
Well, London seems to agree with you. Stereoscopes are very popular at the moment. You can find one of these folding contraptions in lots of households in the capital currently.
But if these little machines are so affordable, surely there's no need to go around staring cross-eyed at pictures like you hate them.
But it's much more satisfying to be able to see the effect with your own eyes. But I think so in any case.
Stereoscopic pictures. Never even heard of them until yesterday. Certainly learned a lot about them, but I wonder if it's knowledge that I'll ever actually need. Second white cat photograph has been entered into the court record. Sweet. Let's take a look at it now. The most important thing I wanted to look at, too. Let's take a read. This is the ticket that Gina brought in here yesterday.
Yes, having been entrusted to her by Mr. McGilda 2 months earlier. Article deposited, one gentleman's overcoat.
The other redemption ticket was in the pocket of that coat.
Yes, for a small box deposited 2 days before the omnibus incident.
Does that have anything to do with all of this? But most importantly, let's take a look at this.
This is Naruhodo. I don't know if you noticed, but there's something rather troubling here.
I have noticed.
The red smear, you mean?
Yes. Looks like blood, doesn't it? I wonder if Susato-san picked up on that. Well, in that case,
Yes, we need Iris.
we should show this to her before we forget. White cat photograph number 2's information has been updated in the court record. Cat. Oh god, excuse me. Whew.
Oh, that looks like blood.
I would say it's from a gloved finger. Almost certainly a glove made of leather.
Well, don't worry, Runo. You can leave the rest to me.
Poof. Purple. Look at that.
Yes, that's a color we haven't seen before, isn't it? We simply must add it to the portfolio of blood samples. It could be an important clue. Although, it would be nice to find out whose blood these different colors correspond to at some point.
Well, this particular stain of blood.
Oh, you have had an idea, haven't you? Do you know whose blood this is?
Gina would pick this up. I technically have no idea, but I think I have a good idea who it is. If a leather glove picked it up,
or leather glove had blood on it, it would have to be. It would have to have been thrice fired mason, right? No idea. How could I? We don't have a known sample of the same color. Without that, it's impossible to know.
Oh, how very vexing. I wonder.
Yes, thrice fired mason is not in my group. What?
Well, it's true the color doesn't help us. But what about considering how the mark came to be there in the first place? You might have an idea about that. Mightn't you? Mightn't you, Runo?
Well, if he's staring at me like that, no.
Let's try that again, shall we?
This particular single blood. Yes. I think I do. Yes, I have an idea whose blood it is. Not from the color it turned, but with a little deduction.
That's right. I think it's clear. Iris, you know as well. You first, Runo. Who do you think it belongs to?
Alright, I believe that this is the blood of... Rice-fired mason. The rice-fired mason?
You don't sound very sure of yourself. The way you trailed off there.
Well, it was 2 months ago now, that case. Of course, I'd never met the victim, so I'm struggling to remember his name. He was definitely thrice fired, though.
The victim? Of the omnibus case? Yes, his name was indeed Mr. Thrice-Fired Mason. But that would mean that this bloodstain was left on the ticket 2 months ago.
Yes, I think it was. Gina brought this ticket here to Windibanks yesterday, suggesting that the bloodstain was already on it at that time.
So it's a smear of blood from the time that Mr. Mason was killed 2 months ago. Something else is coming back to me now. Mr. McGilded was also wearing leather gloves that night.
Ah, yes, and on his right hand there was blood.
Now I ask yous, what good-hearted soul would it rush to help a fella bleeding from his stomach? I wasn't about to start worrying about me gloves now, was I? I reached out to give the man a hand.
It certainly does look like a leather glove thumbprint, this mark. We know that Mr. McGilded had no injuries at the time, anywhere on his body, from which we can conclude that any blood on the glove belonged to the victim, Mr. Mason.
Mr. Naruto, he sounds just like Mr. Sholmes.
Minus the quirky slip-ups, I hope.
Yes, I think you're right, Runo. Very well. Let's make a note of this.
The details of the pawnbroker's ticket for the coat has been updated in the court record.
Well, we don't know for sure if it actually is thrice-fired Mason's blood. We're just guessing.
Oh, this is something I can take a look at around here. Ba, 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 ba. Ba, 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 ba. I guess that's it. I'm looking at the stereoscope then. This is a strange contraption that lets you see pictures of things right in front of your eyes. Makes you think. Mr. Sholmes gleefully showed it to us yesterday. We were blissfully unaware that any of this was about to happen. Damn. Interesting.
You know, we didn't technically examine the bullet. Green blood just seems wrong somehow.
Oh, there are all sorts of different colors. There are pretty pinks and purples too, you know. Like I said, everyone's blood is different.
What would color my blood turn out? Actually, I don't want to know. Oh, right. What about the cameras? What the hell is that damn thing? Huh? The ledger that's open on the counter there really is enormous, isn't it? Must be an awful lot of work to keep track of all these hundreds of items in pawn.
It's too much to think about. Better to sell it all and have a clear head, if you ask me.
Clearly, Mr. Windibank was very careful when it came to the articles in his care.
Oh, my manuscript.
Mr. Shum said he deposited at Windibank's, and he had.
But it's so strange. What is it about this particular story? I worked so hard on it. Why would Hurley say I can't publish it?
I'm afraid I have no idea. All you can do is wait until he's ready to tell you, I suppose.
Oh, maybe. It's because Hurley isn't in it enough. Maybe I didn't give him enough good lines.
Yes, maybe. I was gonna say that definitely isn't the reason, but I can't. Never read it myself. Ooh, take a look at this. Would you mind if I showed you this, Iris? It's just a boring old thing, really, but...
Oh, I don't really like boring things.
Ah. Looks like Japanese modesty is easily misinterpreted by young Western children.
I mean, who does like boring things? No one wants to be shown something boring. Come to think of it, they're always introducing things with, this is boring, but it's a bad habit. You should stop it.
I'll be sure to let the entire population of the Empire of Japan know on my return. Box, coat. The way you can identify differences in people's blood like this is amazing. You really are a genius, Iris.
I know. I am. If Hurley and I put our minds to it, we could really shake up Britain's chemists and alchemists.
And you could shake up Japan's lawyers and judges. Couldn't you, Mr. Naruto? Oh, for sure. Even if I didn't intend to. Back into the storeroom. He doesn't have anything to say about that. And nothing about the blood samples, neither. Strange. Very strange. I don't think there's anything else in this room I haven't. I guess we could take a look at this. Iris?
Don't worry. I'm alright. But we must find the true culprit. Yes, absolutely.
Check out the street. There's still a Scotland Yard carriage outside Windibank's.
Never imagined we'd be investigating the case so close to home.
Oh, Iris, she's very upset by all this. I'm sorry. I was there. I should have done more.
None of this is your fault, Aruno. So please, don't apologize.
But I...
It's the criminals who are to blame for all of this. So let's investigate and work out how to catch them.
Yes, you're right.
2 months that we've been taking lodgings here above Mr. Sherman's office. Still can't quite believe it. Never expected things would turn out like this.
When Hurley comes back home, let's have a big party.
Great idea. I'm sure it won't be long. Mr. Sherman is very tough.
Yes.
I love attic rooms, don't you? They're so exciting. He's currently in surgery, so he can't visit. Still in surgery? Yeah, okay. Well, when lost, always go back to somewhere you have been. I like how this is like 3 sections to it. It's great. Okay, well, Wait. That spade has been here since we started renting the place.
Bruno, that's not a spade, it's a shovel.
Ah, you're a shoveler, are you? I had a feeling you'd pick me up on that.
Oh, no. A pick is something else entirely.
Oh, I dug myself into an even deeper hole. Do you know, I've never seen inside Mr. Sato's room. I haven't so much as put my head around the door.
Oh, Susie often invites me up. It's so much fun.
Really? What's her room like?
I can't tell you that.
Oh,
The young maiden's private chamber is a place of bittersweet secrets, you know.
where have I heard that before? I suppose some things are the same the world over.
Boom, 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 boom. Oh, this looks like a telegram.
It is, but you mustn't open it. Not under any circumstances.
All right, I won't. Now then, let's see.
No! What did I just say? You mustn't open it!
Don't worry, I won't. With this special concoction I've developed, I'll be able to see through the envelope without having to open it.
No, that's not allowed either.
Oh, but I'm sure it's something important.
Little geniuses sure can be mischievous.
Cat. So this is the second of the 2 photographic prints of the cat. It really does look like Wagahai. Looks exactly the same as the first photograph at first glance. I suppose that's what's so compelling. Actually, when we have both pictures, I could have had the go at viewing them as a stereoscopic image. So I need to cross my eyes and try to get the 2 cats to merge in the middle as one. Such a hard thing to do. I never thought of this in the first place once I spent a long time staring. Well, the only other place I haven't been is the prison. I don't know if Gina's going to give me anything new, or if she's even available. 16th April, local prison, cell 13. Gina doesn't appear to be here.
I believe she must be in questioning at the moment. Oh, but wait a minute.
What is it, Iris?
Well, if you examine the scene here carefully, there's another possibility, isn't there? Ginny could have slipped the key from the jailer when he wasn't looking and escaped. Oh my!
Why would you do something like that? It would only make her situation worse.
Calm down, Runo. I was only joking, of course.
Oh. Well, you had me worried there.
I thought it was a great deduction.
Yes, it must be your way with words, Iris. You're so wonderfully persuasive. Perhaps you don't fully understand the weight your words carry. Oh dear. I'm sorry. I suppose a light-hearted great detective is a contradiction in terms.
Well, in the same situation, I'm sure Mr. Sholmes would have just thrown his head back and guffawed.
I'm not entirely sure that's helpful, Mr. Naruto.
Well, anyway, it looks like we won't be able to talk to Gina for a while. We should try to make progress with our investigation in the meantime.
Yes. Come along then, Reno. Come along, Susie.
Okay, back to the shop. Sure, let's take a look at the first one. Ah! There's nothing to say about the first one that we got.
Poor Ginny. This is all my fault, really. But she'll be alright, won't she? In court tomorrow, I mean.
I'll defend it with everything I've got.
So, she'll be alright? Won't she?
Why that bad at instilling confidence? Nothing new there. Let's take a huge look around this room, right? We looked at everything. Damn. Yep, everything has a check mark on it, so I've definitely looked at everything. See if Gregson can tell us anything new. Nope. On that. This? Inspector, what do you make of this? Ah, what have we here then? A redemption ticket for an article deposited here, is it? Looks like someone ran out of office stationery and wrote the ticket on whatever paper was to hand. Yes, this is the ticket for for McGilda's overcoat, one that the little diver turned up with yesterday. Oh, actually, no, it's not. Really? Think you know better than me, do you? No, I didn't mean to.
Reno's right, Gregsy. It isn't the same ticket.
Of course I didn't. Of course I didn't. I never doubted you, your ladyship. So, what's this all about then, if I might be so bold as to ask?
This is a second ticket.
The second one? It seems that Mr. McGilda, in fact, had another article in storage here at Winterbanks. Is that right?
I think we need to discuss this further with the inspector, Mr. Naruto.
Well, good. He's ever so easy. He's ever so easy to talk to. A second redemption ticket. Perfect. More information. The ticket was in one of the pockets of Mr. McGilda's overcoat. Huh? You mean to tell me? Yes, there was more than just the music box disc, it seems. Should have insisted on the last taking it back to the yard and examine it properly.
Well, according to the details on this ticket, Mr. McGilda deposited another article here with Mr. Winterbank.
Yes, I could see it rigidly. A small box, was it?
Do you have any idea where it is, Gregsy? Any idea at all? It's another article belonging to Mr. McGilda. It could be an important clue.
Well, yes. I suppose it could be. Please, stop looking at me with those big turquoise eyes, all full of hope and expectation. It's too much pressure. I'll lose me marbles. I'll go bargain.
There's no time for dog impressions, Inspector.
That's enough sauce from you, Sunshine. There's one thing that springs to mind. According to this ticket, the redemption deadline's already passed, hasn't it?
Oh, yes, of course. Articles are only held for 2 months. So the small box will no longer be in here then?
That's right. It's been forfeited.
Which means it could be on the shelves in front of the shop, where the forfeited items are offered for sale.
Yes, the shelves in front. We must search them at once.
You're wasting your time.
Oh,
There are dozens of little boxes out there. Hundreds, even. You can't possibly know which one might have been McGilded's. That information's not written in the letter.
well, I think we should at least have a look, just in case.
Of course, your ladyship, of course. Very sensible of you, I'm sure.
This is getting old.
I nearly jumped out of my skin there. How could Mr. Windibank set up such a wicked trap?
I doubt he set out to scare anyone.
Is that really the time? I think perhaps we should pay Gina another visit soon.
Oh?
Her trial is tomorrow. We must establish whether or not you will be defending her. I think we should ask her one more time. She may have changed her mind. Don't you remember Runo? You told her she could rip up the representation papers if she didn't want you to be her lawyer.
Really? Did I say that?
Yes, you did. The deadline for submitting the paperwork is fast approaching.
In that case, we had better hurry back to the prison and talk to Gina again.
That's the examine button, folk.
That was literally all the information I needed was to talk about that redemption ticket. 16th April, 5:41 p.m. Local prison, cell 13. Wait a minute. How many times did that ring? 3 times. That's 2 hours slow. Strange. Oh well. Maybe it won't come up again. Ah, Gina, good. You're back.
Ah! The police must have finished questioning her then. Oh, how was it, Ginny? Was it awful?
Ow! Didn't bother me. Thank you for the papers you signed before. It meant we were able to investigate at Windibank's. Oh, right.
Don't you want to know how we got on? We've been ever so busy.
What's the point in asking? Won't change what everyone's saying. That I did it.
It's not...
Gina, we came to ask for your final decision.
Huh? What decision?
About tomorrow's trial. Will you let me defend you, or not?
Uh,
I must submit the paperwork now if you'd like Mr. Naruhodo to represent you. Right. I see. She's really lost her fight all of a sudden. But I know what that feels like. The worry's just so hard to bear.
Oh, all right then. Blimey, give it a rest with them eyes, Iris. Come on then, fill us in. Who done it?
Unfortunately, we don't know that yet.
You don't say. We don't know yet, Gina. But Mr. Naruhodo, and all of us, know that you are innocent of this crime.
And while we haven't yet managed to work out who the real culprit is,
there are a number of interesting facts that we have managed to establish.
Oh yeah? Like what?
Well, for example, the reason you being there in the first place. I think I now know why you broke into Winterbanks that night. So I'm going to take some evidence that clearly reveals the reason. And thrust it in Gina's face. Or I could present it to her calmly, I suppose.
We already have the representation papers and other documents we need.
All I have to do is hand them to the court clerk. That is, if you'll allow me to represent you in court tomorrow.
Nah. Don't bother.
Ginny?
Rip them up and chuck them, would ya? Them representation papers or whatever they're called. They still ain't fancy enough to have a bin.
So, what will you do in court tomorrow?
I'll be fine on my own.
I don't think you will be.
Look, it don't matter. What's gonna happen is gonna happen.
This one stubborn pickpocket. We found this in Mr. Winterbank's storeroom. The manuscript of Iris's latest story.
Ah! Oh, right. Well, that's good then.
Curiously, the storeroom at Winterbanks showed no sign of being ransacked for items of value or the like. With one exception. The box file that houses manuscript. It was you, wasn't it, Gina, who broke open the box containing this manuscript last night?
Eh?
You were determined to find out whether or not the Hound of the Baskervilles was really there. That's the real reason you broke into the storeroom last night, isn't it?
Ah!
Why don't you tell us what happened? Please.
Alright, yeah. This Baskerville story. It's the latest Shobes adventure, right? But it ain't been printed yet. So I figured, it's gotta be worth a fair few pieces of silver, right? Oh, yes. At least £5,000.
What?
So you intended to sell Iris's manuscript, did you?
No. Ginny, how could you?
What? Wait, no, hang on. Of course I wasn't gonna sell it. All I wanted to do was find out the mantle script or whatever you call it really was there or not. That's the only reason I was in the place. For Iris' sake. Isn't that right? Ah!
We knew why you did it from the start, Gina. Of course we did.
But
I knew you wouldn't do anything mean like that, Ginny. I just knew it.
well,
When I saw the manuscript in the storeroom, it reminded me of what you said the night before.
grown-ups do a lot worse than that, believe me. Barefaced liars, a lot of them. I just realized, you just ain't realized it yet.
Oh.
I'm telling you, that mantle script ain't at Winterbanks. You'd soon seen it if you had a look.
If I'm honest, I have wondered if Hurley's telling me the truth sometimes. I mean that I sometimes wonder if he might have hidden my manuscript somewhere. Somewhere I don't know. Even though it's wrong of me to doubt him. No, Ginny, that was so sweet of you.
Alright. I'll tell you why I did it. Just stop looking at me like that, Iris.
Reason for breaking it?
Not because of Iris. That's not why I did it. I just wanted to know the truth, that's all. You want to know if Mr. Sholmes was being honest. If he really deposited the manuscript at Winterbanks. It's like I told you the night before. I never had a father. But Iris's lot ain't like mine. She got a dad, only she can't see him. And I reckon that's gotta be harder. That's why she writes her stories. They're about her dad, really. That's what it sounded like to me, anyway. Last night when I was listening to what you were saying.
Stories. About Daddy?
You mean, they're not the adventures of a great detective, so much as the adventures of a great detective and his trusty partner. Well, that's how I see it, yeah.
You're so thoughtful and so kind, Ginny.
Yes, and we never thought any differently, did we? Look, give it a rest, will ya? I hate all this chummy nonsense. Yeah, I hate it. I don't trust no one, right? That's how I work. Because if you don't trust no one can let you down. So leave me alone. Go on, Scarpa. I don't notice until now, but it's unmistakable. Right there on both sleeves of that overcoat. Some very suspicious red stains. Technically they're brown, but yes, that's the color of blood when it dries up. What? Why are you looking at me like that? Like, it might be worth presenting some of our other findings in that area to Gina now. Do you see this pawnbroker's ticket, Gina? It's the one you took to Windibanks, isn't it? The one for that black overcoat you're wearing now. Huh? What, that? I don't know. They all look the same to me, those tickets. Surely not. Well, this one has a very obvious mark on it. That would appear to be blood. Does that ring any bells? I don't know. It all looks the same to me, blood. And they all sound the same to me, these answers. Suspicious. Ah. Those stains on the sleeve of your new coat, Gina. They're blood, aren't they? Not that I know whose blood yet. What? Blood, Mr. Naruto? You don't appear to have any obvious wounds yourself, though. So, could it be the blood that spattered from Mr. Windibank when he was shot last night?
Let's not beat around the bush here. This trusty friend of mine will get results much faster than anything else.
Take it easy, Iris.
Don't move, Ginny. I'm going to shoot.
Oh my.
Oh. Oh my.
What the? Forget the sleeves. The whole coat is covered in blood. Of course. The black color of the fabric was masking the stains. That's why we haven't seen them until now. And the blood has reacted with the chemical to turn a purple color, which matches one of the samples we've already collected perfectly.
Yes, now let's see. Who had the purple blood? Aha! Yes, it was the brickmaker, Mr. Mason, the victim of the murder case 2 months ago.
I knew it.
What are you all on about? The victim? What do you mean?
It's a rather uncomfortable situation, Mr. Naruto, but I think this makes things quite clear. It means the omnibus case is finally solved. The truth about who really murdered the brickmaker, Mr. Mason, is revealed.
Oi! Will someone explain what's going on? Stop telling half a story!
You can see now that the victim's blood is all over Mr. McGilda's overcoat.
But in the trial 2 months ago, the defendant said this in his testimony.
Now I ask yous, what good-hearted soul wouldn't rush to help a fella bleeding from his stomach? I wasn't about to start worrying about me gloves now, was I? I reached out to give the man a hand. But if you look at this overcoat now, it's clear. These stains couldn't have arisen from from McGilda trying to pull the victim to his feet.
No. If that's what had really happened, the blood wouldn't have splashed all over the front of the coat.
The only explanation for this pattern of blood is that it splattered over McGilda's coat when he stabbed the victim in the stomach.
truth for long enough. There's no escaping it now. The true culprit in that case, Mr. Mason's killer, was Magnus McGilded. Mr. Naruto, that horrible case is solved at last. And I helped the man walk free from that trial. Use all that twisted testimony and all that sham evidence to prove his innocence. How could I have let that happen?
Bruno, did you believe him, though? Did you believe Mr. McGilded was innocent?
I believed. Or rather, I think I was trying to believe. I wanted to. Because believing in those you represent in court is a defense lawyer's greatest weapon.
A weapon?
Before we came to Great Britain, a great friend of mine taught me a valuable lesson.
You mean Kazuma-sama?
Listen, Ryosuke. We lawyers are only human. We can't know for sure what is the truth and what is a lie. Which is why we must resort to our primary weapon. An unwavering belief in our clients. That's all we really have. Unwavering beliefs. Only when we truly believe what our clients tell us can we fight with everything we have for their cause. In any battle, there can be no victory without faith. So I believe you, unwaveringly. What's funny, Gina? Cool. Sounds like in this Empire Japan you come from, everyone must be soft. Oh.
Well, come on. Look at the mess it's got you into. Believing in that bog trotter.
Yes, you inadvertently helped a murderer walk free.
Well, at least you learned your lesson now, huh? Believing in people's never worth it. Someone always stabs you in the back in the end. As soon as you let down your guard, you had it. Take a leaf out of my book. Believe no one. Get hurt by no one. Gina, may I ask you something? What? I'd just like to make absolutely sure. What would you like us to do with these representation papers for tomorrow's trial? How many times do I have to say it? Rip them up and chuck them away. Are you really sure? That's what you want? But that's what he wants and all now. Mr. I'm a believer lawyer over there. Don't forget it was me in that trial 2 months ago. I led everyone up the garden path, didn't I? And you're telling me you can believe in me after that? Not likely. Well, Mr. Naruto?
Well, his primary weapon is an unwavering belief in his clients. Ultimately, it comes down to whether or not I feel I can trust Gina after everything that's happened. Gina, let me say it again. Please allow me to represent you in tomorrow's trial.
Are you half-baked?
Not at all. You've once admitted to committing the crime, haven't you? What's more, I believe that you're telling me the truth.
Seriously, Mr. Naruto, didn't you hear all of what I said before? I'm a born liar. It just drip off me tongue. And I'm a diver, don't forget. I pulled the wool over your eyes 2 months ago and got you into all sorts of trouble. Why would you ever trust me now? I just don't get it. Gina, I do understand why you choose not to put your trust in others.
But I assure you, there is more to this life than you've yet to realize.
What do you mean?
The world we live in is full of people you would do very well to trust, who won't ever let you down. It's true that I'm just a student of law, and I'm certainly lacking in courtroom experience. But I can promise you this, whatever happens, until my very last breath, I'm completely on your side. What do you expect me to say to that?
Then it's decided. I would take these papers now and carry out the necessary preparations for tomorrow's trial. It would be a shame to throw them away now after it's been penned with your name so beautifully.
Don't you like? Listen, lad, I don't know what you are. I don't get you. Gina's taken herself off to the back of her cell. She'd never admitted, but I hope she's feeling relieved. It turned out all right in the end, I think.
Whoever's hiding there, show yourself at once. Eavesdropping is the height of cowardice.
Mrs. Sato?
Somebody is there in the shadows. I can sense it. Somebody who wasn't there before.
What? Blimey, you're sharp, huh?
I suppose you use one of those mystic Japanese arts, like the other stuff I've heard so much about.
If anyone was being stealthy, it was you, Inspector.
Gregsy!
Oh, dear me. I am most terribly sorry, Your Ladyship. I didn't mean to startle you.
How long have you been listening in on our conversation?
Oh, grief. Listening in? No. I just got word that there were some visitors who were refusing to leave even though it was after hours. I assure you, Your Ladyship, I only just arrived this very minute. Not a moment earlier. That is all. Nothing untoward. Nothing at all.
That's all it is what he said. After hours. Is it that late already?
So then, I'll humbly excuse myself now, Your Ladyship. Ta-ta, toodaloo, cheerio. All the best. Bye, and bye.
That's a lot of farewells. One of them appropriate for her ladyship.
Oh, but I wanted to have a chat.
I'm terribly sorry, but time is pressing at the minute.
Oh, I see. That's a shame.
If I don't get this emergency at the Supreme Court dealt with sharpest, Lord Strongheart will,
Emergency?
Lord Strongheart?
Nothing! Forget I said anything! Anyway, I'm off!
Alright, Gregsy, if you have to. But let's chat soon.
Delighted! Charmed! Can't wait, if you please!
My pleasure! That's a lot of pleasantries. But one of them sounded sincere.
Gregsy's so funny. He says such silly things.
It certainly entertains the inspector of the police falling to a 10-year-old girl. But anyway, I wonder what this emergency is at the Supreme Court. I must attend the court clerk's office now before it closes. Yes, of course. Thank you, Mrs. Sato. Kindly escort Iris home now, Mr. Naruto. I shall meet you there later. And so our investigation came to an end. Sato-san went to file the necessary papers for my defense of Gina the following day. And then it hit me. I could no longer suppress the wretched feeling that had been gnawing away at my insides. Tomorrow, Sato-san would be leaving Britain and making her way back to Japan. 16th April, 11:13 p.m. Naruhodo's Legal Consultancy. Naruhodo-san? It's been a very trying day, hasn't it? I do hope you're not too exhausted. What about you, Susato-san? Today has been even more trying for you, I'm sure. Mr. Sholmes was shot before our eyes, Gina was arrested, and all on the back of the news that her father has fallen ill, that she must return to Japan at once. I hope your father recovers soon.
Thank you for your kind words. I wonder why it is. So many thoughts rage in my head like a storm, and yet I seem unable to find the words to express any of them.
I know exactly what you mean.
Anyway, one final task complete as your judicial assistant. Once that is done, I shall make preparations for my departure tomorrow.
One final task.
It's just 2 months since we arrived in London, but we've managed to establish this office. I was finally feeling as though we were settling in. I'd be lying if I said I felt no regret.
I'm so sorry, Susato-san.
It's just so sudden. I really don't know what to think. I've had no time to gather my thoughts.
I know we've only been here for a short time, but in my limited experience in the courtroom, I feel I've learned something.
And what would that be?
It seems to me there are many facets to people's personalities.
Facets?
Like a jewel, the light plays off them in complex patterns, illuminating their actions and their motives. But we see only a small number of the total facets, and what is illuminated is only part of the whole story. What lies in the shadows? What do those facets we cannot see look like? Perhaps there are some parts we'll never lay eyes on, for as long as we live.
That's so true.
Sometimes I feel as though I'm blind to so much, but I keep hoping that one day it will all become clear, that all the facets will be illuminated, and I'll finally understand how everything fits together.
Naruto-san.
I suppose what matters is that we keep our eyes open, and we keep moving forward, even if the way sometimes seems dark.
It's amazing to think it's been just 2 months. You've grown so much.
Sorry? Of what?
Oh no. It was nothing unimportant.
Do you know what time you will leave London in the morning?
Yes. I picked up my ticket earlier. I shall be leaving here at 4 a.m.
I see. Well, I'll escort you to the station.
Absolutely not.
Sorry?
I'm sure you realize why I couldn't possibly let you do that. You have a very important day ahead of you tomorrow.
Gina's trial. Yes, I know, but
every word you utter will have the potential to determine Gina's fate.
Oh.
You must get as much rest as possible. Even though, like me, I'm sure you will find it hard to sleep. Please, for me, do try.
You mentioned one final task a moment ago. What did you mean?
Oh my! I nearly forgot. Please, I want you to have this.
What is that? Some huge bundle of documents.
It's my notes from the case 2 months ago. The murder that was committed on the omnibus.
Oh, the McGilded case.
It seems to me that this case of Mr. Winterbank's murder, which Gina is accused, is very much tied up with that omnibus case, in ways that are not yet completely apparent. So I took the liberty of consolidating my writings about the case for you.
Oh. Everything else she's had to think about. Sato-san still managed to do this. And all neatly laid out for me in her beautiful handwriting.
It was my pleasure. I can only hope it will bolster your case tomorrow for Gina.
Thank you so much, Sato-san. I'll do my best to use it wisely. You really are the best judicial assistant in the world.
Well, that's extremely flattering. But I'm sorry to say. have been a complete failure.
Sorry? I didn't quite catch what you said there.
Oh! Ignore me. I was just mumbling to myself.
The gilded case notes have been added, entered into the court record.
Well, it's getting rather late. I think you should go to bed now, Naruto-san. I must finish packing up my things in my room.
Susato-san, I
wish you the very best of luck tomorrow. Good night.
Wait! There's something I need to say. Hiya! Oof! What was that?
A secret technique of mine.
The Susato shutdown. Shutdown?
Please, I implore you. We have to voice our goodbyes. I won't be able to hold back my tears.
Susato-san. It truly had been a trying day. On our feet for hours, getting Gina to open up to us, and learning the truth about that nemesis of a case. Physically and mentally, I was exhausted, and the idea of sleep seemed impossible. But I forced myself to close my eyes, as a cacophony of scenes of our lives here in London played through my mind. Eventually, my fatigue triumphed. I fell into a deep sleep right there on the floor. "17th April, the small hours. St. Siner's Hospital, Ward 3. Yes, I quite understand.
That is a great weight off my mind.
Rest assured, I shall put everything in place, exactly as we have discussed.
Thank you so much. It has been an honor and a pleasure to be acquainted with you, Mr. Sholmes.
On the contrary, the pleasure has been mine. I bid you farewell, and Godspeed. My dear madam. To be continued. And with that, seeing as Naruto's going to bed, to be prepared for the trial for the following day, I shall also go to bed. Oh my goodness, a person. Hello there. Hello there, Fron. Sorry, you caught me at the very end. Damn. I also have to go to bed. Also, YouTube, thank you for watching. Keep your mind sharp, stay safe out there. Bye-bye.